Okay, what's going on, everybody? Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's gameplay stream. Apologies for being late. I'll explain in a moment, and we may be running later today, depending on how things go. The good thing is I have the flexibility to do that, which is always good. Alright, welcome, everybody. Welcome. How you doing? Hopefully the answer is, I'm doing good. This is a good weekend, and everyone's having fun. Shout out already to Stinkin' Burrows, who just resubscribed to the channel for the 4th month in a row. Thank you, Stinkin' Burrows, for doing that. By the way, I do have to say, in particular, I really enjoy this set of on-screen notifications that Dr. Zombius has made for my Tekken streams. Really nice, right? They look really cool. They're obviously very pertinent to the game. And I do have to say thanks yet again. He did a really good job with these. So, yeah, anyone who cheers, subs, or tips during the Tekken streams, you can see some really nice pop-up messages. So, what's going on, everybody? Let's talk. I'm late today, obviously. Sadly, last night sucked. And this happens from time to time, is I'll get caught up with stuff. I'm getting caught up with stuff. And sadly, it got me kind of, how can I say? Basically, last night I had a ton of shit to do. I had to wash like 2 loads of laundry. And obviously then I had to put the clothes away. I wasn't just going to leave them lying around the house. And then I had other shit to do. I had all these errands to do. And I didn't have time to do any of them during the daytime. So I was trying to do them at night. And one way I thought, gee, this would tire me out, right? This would get me tired so that I could go to sleep. It actually had exactly the opposite effect. I was doing all these, you know, errands and everything, and it kept making my mind think about other things to do, and it basically got the adrenaline pumping in my body. So, here it was, you know, very early morning hours when I should be tired and going to sleep, and I was putting clothes away and sorting clothes out to donate and doing all this stuff. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh my god, look how late it is, and I got all caught up with all this shit, you know? It happens. And it's my, you know, obviously it is my fault. I let things get out of hand, and the thing is, you know, now I live alone, right? I don't live with anyone else who can say, hey, Phil, it's freaking super late in the morning. What are you doing all this shit now, you know? And, what it really is, it's kind of like what my life was like back in Connecticut before I ever live streamed. If you remember, I started live streaming in 2013. So really, I only did it for about a year or so before I moved out here to Washington and I was living with, you know, my girlfriend. So for me, it's kind of like I'm back to having my own schedule. But because I had my own schedule, I kind of just wasn't... I need to be better at keeping track of time and doing things at times when, you know, when it makes sense. And it was cool that, oh wow, I got all these chores and everything done last night. I got all this good shit done, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Yeah, but then I didn't go to sleep. So here it is, like 5 in the morning. I'm in bed. I'd already been laying there for like an hour. I couldn't fall asleep at all because I had all this adrenaline still kind of coursing through my veins. And I'm like, god damn it, this sucks. So I tweeted at that point, you know, listen, I'm still awake. It's obvious I'm not going to be awake in 5 hours and then ready to stream multiplayer in particular, you know. So I ended up, you know, sleeping in about an hour, so a little bit more than usual. And I do apologize for that. I did say that the stream was starting at 11 or 11, you know, between 11 and 11:30-ish, and it did not start until much later. So apologies for that. Also, I apologize because the stream itself right now started late because Twitch is having all kinds of issues today. If you're not aware, there's lots of stuff going on Twitch today, but apparently there's a ton of tournaments going on, in particular the MOBA tournaments. And everyone knows the MOBA tournaments are kind of what got Twitch its notoriety and blew it up as a video game streaming website. Therefore, that being said, you know, the website may have lots of issues today. Already, I tried to start my stream 3 times and I couldn't get it to start up. It was telling me that it was running and it wasn't doing anything. It was just fucking sitting there, you know, showing that I was broadcasting, but the stream wasn't going live. So I said, all right, I'll just keep trying. It took about 25 minutes for me to get it going, but finally I got it going, and now we're up and running, okay? So let's talk, everybody. Let's talk about what you can expect today. All right. By the way, I got a $2 anonymous tip with a troll message, which I'm obviously not going to address. And I want to say thank you to Viking, who did a 100-bit cheer. He says, don't worry, Phil, the Rain King Oku will bless the stream and everything will be fine. I don't know what that's a reference to. And then Coral Guy just resubscribed for the 3rd month in a row, so Coral Guy should have earned his silver crown. Shout out to Coral Guy and thank you. So, what are we doing today on stream, folks? We are doing Tekken 7 multiplayer. That's right. We are doing online gameplay with Paul and King, because those are the only 2 characters I've actually really focused in and played with significantly yet. And that's all we're doing today. I'm going to be trying out... I'm going to have to do all player matches because, sadly, ranked matches don't work. And I don't know, when they're going to work. But I certainly wish that it would work, because I do like the ranked matches over everything, but, I guess it is what it is. We gotta play what works, right? We gotta go with the flow, and right now, it's only player matches that are working. The tournaments are also working, but the tournaments kind of suck, because you get stuck waiting for people, and, in addition, there's really no control over getting into a tournament. If you get someone with a bad connection, they can end up winning the whole fucking thing, because no one can do anything, and they just spam... annoying attacks that you can't really defend or block against, so the tournaments do kind of suck. So I'm going to be trying to do all player matches today, and we'll see how it goes. Shout out to OOOO Anonymous, who did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, hope you're feeling better. Hold on. Scrolled up. Oh, he says, hope you're feeling better. Here's to a good stream. Yeah, my allergies are also bothering me, which sucks. This all started on Thursday. On Thursday, I was sleeping, and I had my bedroom window open. Now, here's what happened. The landscapers decided to come by. I guess they changed their schedule, because if you remember, they used to come by on Wednesday afternoons. You'd actually hear them outside my window sometimes on stream. So I didn't know they were coming. They came early Thursday morning when my window was open, and they cut all the grass, and all the pollen from the grass blew up into my window, right into my respiratory system. And I woke up, I was like, ugh! Because immediately, I have pollen allergies. And immediately, my nose congested, my throat swelled up. I was like, son of a bitch. What a pain in the ass. And since then, it's been like that. Like, my throat is still kind of messed up. Because this happened on Thursday. And, it may take a while now for my system to get better. Which sucks, but, I'm doing my best here. I still got the fucking nasal drip and everything. So I gotta try to get it out of my system. Ugh. And it's gunky and it's nasty and I hate it. Because I got another $2 troll tip. I hope this person realizes that they're not getting their money back. If anything, I think Mort hopefully learned his lesson the other day. And hopefully this guy is, realizes that if he tries to charge back any of these tips, he will not be getting his money back. I'm just saying. I got over 250 bucks from Mort. You're not going to be any different, bro. I already explained this. I warned you people. Okay. I just took a decongestant. Hopefully it dries up my sinuses here. Okay. So, I'm going to start in a couple minutes here. And it's going to be at least a 3-hour gameplay stream. I may go a little longer. It all depends on how things are going. If I'm playing and I'm having fun and I'm having good matches and everyone's enjoying the stream and, it's a good session, then I may keep going. But, if it's shitty and the connections are kind of lame and, things aren't going so well, then maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see how it's going out. We'll see how it's going down. We'll see how it's going down, folks. Once we jump right into it. Goddess Cleo said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, and just spammed it again in the stream chat, so I am going to address it, just to let you know how dumb your question is. Goddess Cleo, who's an obvious troll, says, But Phil, if you don't read the troll messages and shoutouts, then couldn't they say that you didn't fulfill your contract and then they could dispute it on PayPal? No! Because there's no contract, stupid. No, stupid. No one signed a fucking contract. This doesn't exist. It would be one thing if you signed up for like a website and you had terms and conditions, and in the terms and conditions of the website there was a contract available that says if you send money that someone has to read a message. No! When you send me money, that's my money, period. If I read your message, that's just an added bonus of something that I do to move out of my, to go out of my way to be appreciative of the fact that someone is supporting my efforts to keep streaming or keep making videos on YouTube. There's no legal contract to do anything. If someone tips me $100 and says, Phil is a flaming homosexual with a micro penis and a hairy beast and he smells and he's a piece of shit and all that, I don't have to fucking read it. Are you stupid? Oh my god. Oh my god. And there's no contract with PayPal either. That's the thing. If you try to dispute any transaction on PayPal, okay, you need to provide a legal agreement to prove that there was a violation. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you go to eBay, all right, and on eBay, through eBay, there's a transaction that takes place. I don't know, you say you're going to spend $100 to buy a collectible. Okay, and there's a transaction receipt and everything that you sent the money. It's all through eBay, and you never get that collectible. Now you can go to PayPal and issue a chargeback and say, I never received, you know, my item, and here's all the proof that I paid the money, and here's a receipt and all of that, okay? That's how it goes down. Without any legal agreement or contract or receipt or anything, there's nothing you can do. If you send money to someone, you're done. PayPal will never give you back that money. There's no legal agreement at all. It's just very silly, okay? Really silly. So, I don't understand where these people are coming from. What it is they're trying to figure out, gee, how is a way to game the system, right? How can I put a million troll messages on Phil's streams, but still not actually pay him? The answer is you can't. Sorry, but the system is set up to be completely defensive for streamers and to help them out and to stop the troll bullshit. So you might as well just stop now because it ain't gonna happen. They did this on purpose. They set it up this way so that people without any legal proof can't do anything. That's right. That's right, they call me Jim Bob. Mort found out the fucking hard way. And I'm sure now that he's $250 lighter in his wallet, he's kind of regretting the stupid shit that he did. Alright, so folks, that's the deal with that. I will not be acknowledging troll messages. It's that simple. Looks like we got a few other things going on. Oh, Derek, you got your crown back. What the hell? Derek, you just got your sub crown back. I don't know what happened because you didn't have it, and now all of a sudden it's back randomly. What a weird glitch. You didn't have it for like a day, and then it just reappeared magically. Shout out to Ellie786, who did a 100-bit cheer and said, what is your favorite Dead Space game? 1, 2, or 3? Oh, man. 1 was the one that kind of started it all, and I really do like that game, but I think 2 kind of improved upon the formula and had actually more psychological horror, because now you started to realize what was going on in the actual game. The plot developed to a point where it really, in the back of my mind throughout the entire game, was like creeping me out. And then the ending was really good for 2. 3, I think, honestly, had the best gameplay. Like, the gameplay mechanics had been refined to the point where it was really good. But I don't think that 3 was very scary at all. 3 was more, 3 was more of just trying to advance the plot line. And the end of 3, I thought, was really good. It just sucks that the series is kind of done. Like, we have heard no news whatsoever about a Dead Space 4. But I think overall, I liked 2 the best. And honestly, I think one day I may like to go back and replay 2 because I only played it the once. So I think I might like to go back and replay it at some point. Third Eye the Third did a 100-bit cheer, and he says he apparently watched this This is how you don't play Prey video that guy kept spamming tips about. He said it's good and positive, and you should have it on KO Gaming. Just saying, I don't think that tip was a troll. Well, yes, it was, because the bottom line is, if anyone's making it, this is how you don't play, and they're not offering it on KO Gaming, then obviously they're a troll because they're trying to get attention based off of my videos. It doesn't matter how positive it is. If you know that there's already a program out there by which I am posting up videos on KO Gaming like that, then why would you post it on your own channel unless you're just looking for personal attention using my content? That's kind of the whole point here is, yeah, it was a troll message. It was someone trying to get attention for themselves by posting tips on my stream, and that's why I'm not going to constantly be reading out their spammed messages. So there you have it. By the way, I still have, no lie, I still have, two more videos in the queue for fan submissions for KO Gaming 2, for KO Gaming 2, for KO Gaming. I don't know why I said 2. One is the best of the original Dark Souls run, my original run of Dark Souls in, what was it, 2011, and the other is the best of Outlast 2. So both are really good videos, and I need to edit those sometime this week, hopefully, and get some of those released. So, hopefully I will be able to do that sooner rather than later. Alright? Sooner rather than later. Let's see. What else is going on? I got another shout out here from DSP Fan Dude. He had 100-bit cheer, and he says, is it official? Did Danganronpa 2 win the fan, or the patron poll? Excuse me. I don't know because I have not... Oh my god, excuse me. I have not checked the poll recently, but when I checked it 2 days ago, Danganronpa was in a really strong lead. So I really doubt that it's changed since then. It's actually tonight when I'm going to do all the patron stuff. Tonight I'm doing many things. Number 1, I'm going to be doing the weekend preview. Number 2, I'm going to be contacting all the May patrons to let them know what they need to do in order to get their perks. Number 3, I'm going to be double checking all the information to see if we did hit the May goal. And actually, I think we did. I think we did hit the May goal. Because a lot of people whose pledges were declined actually did update their information. So I think we did hit the May funding goal, and we are going to have our Indies Marathon. But I don't want to promise that yet. I have to confirm that tonight, but I think we did. And then number 4, tonight I am going to close off that poll for the Patron's Choice playthrough, announce the winner, and then kind of figure out when I'm going to start playing it. Okay. Ooh. So, there you have it. All tonight I'm doing that shit. Of course, tonight I also have to go out and go grocery shopping and get some food. So probably what I'm going to do is right after this stream, I'll start uploading videos. I'll run out the door. I'll go do my shopping quick, grab food, come home, and then be able to do all that other shit. It's going to be a long day for me. It's going to be a pretty damned long day. Third Eye the Third did another 100-bit cheer. He says, any ETA on DS2 SOTFS? I think that means Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, if I'm decoding this abbreviation correctly. Well, here's the deal. We all know that after E3 ends, okay, both June and July are going to be pretty slow months for gaming. There's not a heck of a lot going on in the realm of new releases at all, okay? And in that regard, what I'm going to be doing is trying to get some downtime stuff going. One of the things I definitely want to do, I think, this summer is a run through Red Dead Redemption, which, by the way, is now compatible, backwards compatible on Xbox One. So I should be able to just get it on there on the cheap, hopefully. I think I want to do a second run just because I don't even really remember the game anymore. That was one of my playthroughs that I did with a camera, and this will be a good refresher and lead-in for when I play Red Dead Redemption 2 next year. I also want to do Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. So that's going to be another one of the things I'm doing during the summer. And then another thing I might want to do is replay one of the original Grand Theft Autos with one of its newly remade versions. I know they've re-released these games a million times now, so I'm going to have to obviously ask everyone what's the best version of the game to play. But I'm going to have to replay it with no music, which I know sucks ass. But the problem is that my original Grand Theft Auto playthroughs of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, all those playthroughs have been completely destroyed. Because most of the videos, or a lot of those videos, are getting Content ID claimed, which is leading for them to either be muted or blocked in certain countries and certain regions. And that sucks. So what I want to do is maybe replay one of those games this summer. Not all of them, because remember when I did it many summers ago, I did a summer of GTA where like for 2 months I was just constantly playing Grand Theft Auto. I can't do that again. That would kill me. But I think what I want to do is maybe replay through one of those games. So I think the summer could be pretty awesome if I'm going to be doing a Patron's Choice playthrough, which is probably going to be Danganronpa 2, balanced with Red Dead Redemption, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, a random GTA game that we'll talk about and have to figure out. Plus, keep in mind, I'm going to have 2 awesome fighting games in Injustice 2 and Tekken 7 to go back to every once in a while and hold a session. Maybe I'll do like a weekly session of each, right? I think it's going to be a pretty good summer. And I hope that you guys are excited for that. I think that this is a good, a good plan, a good way to... Otherwise, a summer that would be really empty, this is a way for it to be interesting to the viewers. Until new releases start coming out in August, because August is a lot of new releases, the second half of August, man. Okay. Wow, I got a lot of shout-outs to do. Hold on a second here. A bunch of people just did stuff all at once. Someone impersonating traditional games who hasn't been around in a million years. He used to be a viewer of mine, but I don't know where he's gone. He's been gone for a while. Tipped $1 and says, I'm a sissy little crybaby. So apparently someone has a problem with him. But I know that's not really him. Someone called Rusty Trombone 21 did a 500-bit cheer and said, Squad. I don't know what that means. But thank you for the 500-bit cheer regardless. I appreciate it. Kevin Shiitake did a $2 tip. He says, would you ever consider bottling up and selling your sauce for extra cash? It would not be viable because it would be heavy, and shipping costs to ship a bottle of sauce across the country or internationally would be astronomically expensive, and you would not want to pay $20 for a can of my sauce. Not to say my sauce isn't delicious and worth it. It is. It's very good. I just had it last night. In fact, I had leftover ravioli for dinner. But I don't have any plans to sell my sauce, no. It would be one thing if I had a mass distribution network and shipping agreements with companies for reduced freight cost and a factory to mass produce the sauce. No, I'm not going to be making pots of sauce and selling it. And then this anonymous guy did another $2 tip and did the same exact stupid message about his stupid "this is how you don't play" video. Hilarious, har har har. But anyway, thanks for the $2 more. I already told you I'm not really gonna discuss what you're doing here, so whatever. And then Faily Stone just subscribed to the channel for the 4th month in a row. Thank you, Faily Stone, for resubscribing to the channel. I do appreciate that. All right. So now, quickly, let me do some quick plugs, and then we'll get started, okay? All right. So first off, thank you everyone for being here. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you enjoy my daily live streams, and if you enjoy my on-demand videos on YouTube, and you want to see me be able to continue to do this, in the long term, rather than just, not knowing if I'll be able to do it, there's many ways that you can help support my efforts, all right? And I do want to say thank you to those who have been incredibly supportive of me for the past several months. In particular, since the whole YouTube crisis hit in February, you guys have been very awesome. You came out in droves to support me. You've allowed me to keep doing this as a job, and I love it, and I want to keep doing it. So, here's what you can do in order to help. Number one, we've got Patreon, folks, at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. I want to say thank you to those who are already patrons of mine. If you have not checked it out yet, I strongly recommend you do. Your monthly pledges at Patreon allow me to continue to do this through many ways. They've funded things such as equipment improvements over the years, like being able to have a better mic and better sound equipment with the soundproofing foam and stuff that I've got on my walls. They bought an air conditioner for my office so I can actually work in here in the hot summer. They've paid for the games. It's a lot of, you know, very good improvements that have happened because of Patreon. But in addition, the Patreon events that I've done over the years, things like playing indie games, playing game franchises with Patron's Choice that I never heard of or never would have delved into, like Persona, for example, or Yakuza, or Minecraft, right? Getting a better understanding of game series that I didn't get, like Minecraft. Patreon has been a massive, positive thing for myself and, you know, my streams and my videos. So thanks to everyone who pledges. If you don't pledge, check it out at patreon.com/darksidefil. Not only do you contribute to a monthly goal with your pledge, but also you can earn personal perks, such as text or verbal thank yous in my videos. In fact, the May patrons will be getting their very first thank you in tonight's The Week in Preview. You can also get your questions answered on my bi-monthly show, Ask the King, which is happening later this month on June 29th. Or you get a private Q&A video made, you can get premium forum access, you get all this stuff. Check it out, give it a look, and I hope that you will consider pledging if you have not, alright? Number 2, there's Teespring. You can see a link to my store right there, teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Teespring is a business through which I sell some fun merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, all kinds of burps. All kinds of burps, but also all kinds of fun merchandise. All the logos are fan-submitted and fan-designed. My personal favorites include the DSPGaming channel logo that was redone in a real stylish way. There's also the skull logo, which I really enjoy, and I wear them on you know, the shirt all the time. I actually wore that shirt yesterday. But there are many different logos. Apparently one of the ones that people really like is the Wow Dude one. Which obviously is making fun of me, but at the same time, I don't mind. So people seem to like that shirt too. Give it a look if you haven't. Any sales off the Teespring, I get a pretty decently sized commission for each sale, and it definitely helps me out. So check it out, all right? And then last but not least, folks, right here live on the stream as you watch it today, if you're enjoying yourself and you're like, wow, I like seeing Phil fight people online and fighting games, is good stuff. I hope he can keep this up. There's 3 different ways you can support the stream. Number 1, you could cheer with bits. Number 2, you can sub to the channel. Alright, if you sub to the channel, you actually get the ability to use some custom emotes, which I'm sure you'll see people using over the course of today. You also will be immune to seeing advertisements, so if I do take a break, an ad break, or whatever, you won't have to see them. And number 3, the third way that you can support is to tip me, alright? To tip me, what you gotta do is look below the stream, and there's a little section on my page that says tips. If you click on that, it takes you to my tips page, where you can either do an anonymous tip, or you can put in a custom message and a name if you want to get a shout out. Now, if you either cheer with bits, and I believe it's a 50-bit cheer or greater, if you sub to the channel and you click on the share button, because it says you can share your sub with everyone, or if you tip me $2 or more, you'll get an on-screen notification during the stream. Now, normally if I were playing a more narrative-based game, or, you know, a game that didn't take intense focus like a fighting game does, I would immediately give you a shout-out. But since it is a fighting game, please understand if I'm in the middle of a match, there's no way I'm going to be able to react to cheers and everything immediately. But between matches today, I will be giving shout-outs. So, yes, if you'd like an on-screen notification and a shout-out, you can do so. And I'm very appreciative to those of you who have been contributing over the past several months. Again, you're really the reason why I'm still doing this daily, and I love doing it, and I wouldn't want to give it up, so thank you everyone for your support, okay? Alright, so let me go ahead and do the final shout-outs here. Third Eye the Third yet again did a 50-bit cheer and asked, but what about a little bottle of sauce for patrons who give over a certain amount? No. That's the same premise of what I was doing with the Project 7 shirts, which backfired completely. The first year that I did Patreon, which was 2015, I said if you pledged a certain amount, I would sign and send you a Project 7 t-shirt, because I had tons of these things left over. What ended up happening was, and this is not an exaggeration, more people pledged that were international for that than anything else, and I actually lost money. I know that sounds bad. I did. I lost money on that because I had to ship shirts outside of the United States, and every time I did, I basically spent more money than what they pledged. So I ended up losing money on Patreon on that whole thing, which is why I got rid of it. I took it down as a goal because I knew it wasn't viable anymore. Shipping any kind of thing that's not like a sticker or something that's cheap to ship is too expensive. Especially because I know that about 40 to 45% of my viewer base are outside of the United States. There's no way that would ever work, okay? Plus, sauce is perishable, which is the other thing you gotta realize. The only way that I'd be able to do it is I'd have to vacuum seal it, which I can't do. You can't just jar sauce. It would go bad. It needs to be refrigerated. You would have to vacuum seal it, which I don't have a vacuum sealer, okay, in order to ship it. So the answer is no, no, no. I'm not doing anything with sauce. No, 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 no. No. Okay. Sheesh. JBeck35 did a 200-bit cheer. Thank you, JBeck. Appreciate that. And what is this? Billy Anderson did a $2 tip, and he says, my cousin lives in Seattle. Check out Crazy Sheldon's Brew House. They make amazing coffee if you're ever in the city. I have never heard of Crazy Sheldon's Brew House, but perhaps I will look into it. The next time that I do head into Seattle, maybe I will. In fact, there's a new... I just found out because someone sent me this on Twitter a week or two ago. There is a new exhibit at a local museum in Seattle. It's that pop culture museum that I've been to a few times now. A Jim Henson exhibit where they go through the history of him doing puppetry and Muppets and all of that, Sesame Street. I would love that, man. I grew up with that stuff, and I love it. That's part of my childhood. Everyone knows I love the Muppets. Maybe I have a reason, an excuse to go into Seattle at some point, sometime this year to go see that. Maybe I'll do some stuff. Who knows? All right. And finally, shout out to Third Eye the Third, who did a 20-bit cheer, and he says, no sauce for me. No, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not making my sauce, and I'm not shipping it across the country. It's just not going to happen. Okay. Fair enough. Can we end the pre-stream now? All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you putting up with that crap. Now it's time to start with the beatdowns. Whether it's me getting beat down or me dealing out a beating. Equally fun as long as the connections are good. And it was funny because last night I was playing and the connections were really good. And in the final match, the connection was a 1-bar piece of shit connection. Ugh, I had to shake my head. It sucked. Third Eye the Third did a 30-bit cheer. Says, can I come over and get sauce? No, the sauce is for me. The sauce is for me, not for you. You must understand. The sauce is love. The sauce is life. He who controls the sauce controls the universe. Therefore, my sauce is mine alone. Oh my God, you people are being silly today. You people are being very silly. All right. Let's end this freaking pre-stream and get started, shall we? Sound good? All right. All right, let's begin.